Hello humans. As I said in my last video, all Christians should be able to share their testimony because your testimony is awesome. So I asked everybody, Christians, what is your testimony? Why are you a Christian? Here's one of the responses.
I think I can do this in 3 minutes. Okay. Raised in the church. Went from Presbyterian to Assemblies of God. Assemblies of God totally freaked me out. They did things like forced indoctrination of baptism in the Holy Spirit and speaking of tongues. Totally tripped me out. Freaked out so bad that I started running with a really bad crew about the age of 13, and I ended up in juvenile detention. Got out of juvenile detention, didn't hang out with those guys anymore, and I had this anger and hate towards a God that I now didn't believe in. So, if God doesn't exist, there's so many people hurting in the world, somebody has to do something. I became a volunteer firefighter and a volunteer EMT. Because God doesn't exist, somebody has to do something. Did that, joined the military, got into the military, became a medic. Got out of the military, became a medic as a civilian and a police officer. And did that for a whole bunch of years, 25 years as a self-professed atheist, because God doesn't exist. I'm angry at this God that I don't believe in, which how can you be angry at somebody that doesn't exist? That's a whole other video. And I kept doing the job and I got injured and I couldn't be a police officer. I couldn't be a paramedic anymore. Because I couldn't physically do it. So now I'm even angrier at this God that I don't believe in. And debt started accumulating because I had all these great jobs, paramedic and police officer. I was making good money. Now we're broke. We had no food. We almost lost the house, got invited to a soup luncheon multiple times. And we were starving. So we went. And I sat and I listened to the sermon. And the sermon was one of those that just kicked you right in the throat. And everybody in the congregation was actually loving and not fake. Not these fake Christians that you see all over social media. These were just like, hey, what's up, dude? I'm Bob. And I was like, okay. And so I was off guard. But the sermon really kicked me in the throat. And we were starving. And I'm staring at this bowl of soup that I was eating, which was the bomb, dude. It was legit. And I realized that I had it wrong this whole time. And that God not only still loved me, but he wants to continue to love me. Eating the soup, staring at the soup, I gave my life to Christ. Here I am. Almost 7 years later. I'm the assistant pastor of that congregation building that I walked into. That's why I'm a Christian, because Christ still loves me. God bless.